I bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. You are tuned in to Trends in the Housing Market, and it is I, your humble host, Mike Martins. Let's make some noise up in this place, baby. Anyways, guys, Trends in the Housing Market, broadcasting from Merritt, British Columbia, where we discuss housing, employment, unemployment, economy issues, stuff that all relate to housing, affordability issues, application issues, credit issues, whatever issue you may have. We will discuss it here on Trends in the Housing Market. We already got people rolling in, people already before the stream already here, and chatting with people. And Owen's trying to send me something, guys. I was blocked from 2 or 3 real estate sites. My IP's been blocked from 2 or 3 different real estate sites because of the fact that I'm reading articles or specific articles that hinder or debunk articles that hinder specific real estate companies, and they get so personal about it. Hey, you're talking to a guy that doesn't even know how to read, and you're gonna argue with a guy that can't read? Just put me to the corner and let me do my thing. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? So Low Roller Scratcher in the comments asking me, YouTube subscriber says I have no videos. No, I have videos. Nobody's giving me that problem, buddy. We got Low Roller Scratch in the house, Ben North in the house, Lord Humongous in the house, Rock Hill in the house, Dang 0088, TJH in the house, Ben North in the house, Elizabeth in the house, and well, there's so many people here in the house. Quagnog in the house. We got TJH, Owen, everybody. So everyone's starting to roll in. And let's kick off a little bit of a channel plug before we get into tonight's show. There's lots going on, guys, so nobody panic, guys. All right, guys, don't forget to go to the channel. There's lots of housing stuff on here. Don't forget to set your reminders here, guys. Once in a while, go here. I'll have a reminder set for you guys. Don't forget, if you haven't yet, don't forget to set your reminder for Trends in Mike in the Night. We're going to be talking about our friends Covey. You know what I'm talking about here on Mike in the Night. And don't forget, guys, a lot of people are asking if I do more Mike in the Night. There's lots of Mike in the Night here to watch. So if you're really bored, I got like 50, 60, 70 episodes there. And Trends in the Housing Market going back now, one of the longest trend-setting housing discussion show. And we got Rants and Lifestyle here with a lot of stuff here. Another Canadian rate cut. We'll be discussing that tonight. We'll have the Chronicle on in a few minutes. He's going to give us a little bit of an insight on what's happening on his neck of the woods, or Canada's neck of the woods. Australians panic toilet paper preparation, toilet paper rationing. And in Canada, it's different. They're telling people that if you're preparing, it's considered anxiety. Australian housing set to take off, with prices percentages going into double digits in Australia, with housing just taking off. And Liberals to help rescue strategies. How housing here video, how housing is propping our GDP. Guys, don't forget to check out this morning's Morning Coffee with Mike. My Merritt stalker drove by and gave me the finger when he saw me. Don't forget to check out, if you go under playlists here, don't forget to check out the Merritt Harassment Series. It's right, where is it? It's up here, Merritt Harassment Series. Check it out, guys. It's really good. It's a really good video series. Check it out when you get some time. All right, guys, don't forget to add me on Facebook here. I'm going to give you my Facebook, and if you guys want to send me any show tips, please send the show tips to here, please. Send me the show tips to here. And don't forget to buy a Mike in the Night mug. Look at that Mike in the Night mug. We got Lord Humongous mugs. We got Raven mugs. If you guys want to pick up something from our store, from the store, please go ahead and support us here with the Mike Martin store here. Go ahead and support. And what else? Don't forget to shoot me a tip on PayPal and follow me on Instagram if you like. All right, guys, you're tuned in to Trends in the Housing Market. Woo! We got the McChronicle in the comments. We got David Xavier in the comments. Lord Humongous already in the comments. We got Elizabeth in the comments. Yep. Papa Piss said, I think so, Lord. Credit is drying up unless they got a robo singing and no money down to prove income. Yeah. So we'll be talking about that tonight too. Just a lot of things happening. So let's open our just news. Let's look at where the markets are at right now, and then we'll go ahead. We'll go with the Australian markets first. They're open for another hour and 57 minutes. Let me refresh this, make sure this up. You have an hour and 57 minutes in the Australian market. The All Ords up 61.70, sitting at 6,400. The ASX 200 at 63.82, up 57 points. The Australian dollar is just around 66 cents against the American dollar. Oil still below 47. Gold down 370 at 16.39. Bitcoin around 998 US. The CMC Crypto 200 down another 2 points. And where's the New Zealand NZX 50 is up 250 points. The FTSE was up. The Hang Seng's up. Nikkei 225 up. So markets look like they're doing a Dow Jones did really well today, 1,173 points. Well, that's a repo injection. Repo injection. You see how I do this? That's how you're getting screwed right here with the repo injection. Then we got FTSE up, everything down, everything up right now. Market's looking fantastic. And let's go with the TSX up 16,779. S&P 500 up 126, sitting at 3,000. Dow 27,000. Already got that. Canadian to US dollar. Canadian dollar falling to the strong American dollar at 74 cents. Oil 47 cents. Will we see a $50 barrel? I don't know. But anyways, all right. We're done with the markets. Now we're going to keep the Australian markets open. They're open for another 2 hours. We'll see if it can stay in the green. And well, this is the big news right here. Big 5/prime rates in wake of Pelosi's cut. Let's get our man Evan on the show first. Let's get him on the phone and ask him. McChronicle did a video about that. I think he did a video earlier about that. Let me see if I'm right. Let's go find our man, the McChronicle. I just hope YouTube didn't unsubscribe to him. I've been unsubscribed to. I had to go find all the channels I was unsubscribed to. Here he is, McChronicle, right there. And have to resubscribe. He's at 807 subscribers, guys. I'm going to leave a link in the comments if you guys don't mind subscribing to him, please. There should be enough people to get him watching the show to get him over 1,000. Here you go. Boom. Done. All right, let's get him on. He is waiting on me right now, and we'll get him on as right now. Evan, you there, buddy?
Hey, Mike, how's it going, buddy?
Good. How are you, my brother?
Oh, good.
So, I got you on the show. I got your channel here. I'm going to thumb up your video today. Bank of Canada cut rates. Now what? Okay, buddy, now what? Tell us what's going on.
I think everything that's been happening in the last couple of days, the Federal Reserve did the 50 basis point emergency cut yesterday.
Yep.
Bank of Canada followed it up this morning.
Australia did too yesterday.
Yep, that's right. They did 25. A couple other central banks cut as well. I can't remember off the top of my head now. But anyways, yeah, I think what's going on is, and I think you saw this not as much today. See, I think a lot of what happened today was there was a lot of low volatility stocks, a lot of low beta stocks that led the way up. It wasn't really cyclicals. It wasn't tech actually lagged the move.
Right.
Industrials really lagged the move also.
And pharmaceutical did too.
Well, yeah, because there's other reasons behind that. But yeah, low volatility sectors, yeah, healthcare would obviously be one of them also. So really it was just, in my opinion, it was a dead cat bounce. Mm-hmm. It may continue for another day or so, don't get me wrong, but really I think that's all it was. But I think the reaction yesterday after the emergency rate cut and then the press conference Jerome Powell had, which I don't know if you watched that was a complete disaster.
Yeah.
And I'm being kind actually saying that, by the way. But anyways, I think what happened was, yeah, go ahead.
No, I wanted to ask you one question from the beginning of the when you discussed the whole rate cut thing. Now, this I need to ask this because this is very important. Now, rate cuts are used for emergency relief, blah blah blah, the whole 9 yards. We understand what they're for, but what are we going to do when there's no more room for rate cuts? When there is a real emergency in the markets, and we really need to lower or slash rates to kind of hedge against something? We have no more aggregation left. We're out of ammo.
Oh, that's just it. No, you're exactly right on that. And watch this. Watch the stock market reaction yesterday after the emergency rate cut. What honestly you saw happen there was it was a no confidence vote in the global economy. Like, understand that. If you look at the price action the way it was yesterday, it was in the way the 10-year moved and everything else. It was a no confidence vote in the global economy. And I don't think many people actually realize that. Gregory Manarino nailed it. Keith McCullough from Hedgeye did an emergency broadcast on it yesterday also.
Mm-hmm.
It was a no confidence vote in the global economy. And I'm not sure whether your viewers or anyone else, or many people, other people for that matter, even in finance, actually understand that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as far as what they're going to do when it's already at zero, I mean, they can go down the road of balance sheet of money printing, of QE, but as you can see from Japan and what's gone on in Europe the last 5 years, or Japan since 1990 for that matter.
Or Japan in the last 3 weeks, they've already admitted they're in a recession.
Well, yeah,
So,
well, yeah, they admitted it. I mean, they're printing like mad also right now. The Europeans, I'm sure, are going to join here very soon if they haven't already. But the problem with money printing is, I mean, that money never goes into the real economy. I mean,
it doesn't go into the hands of the workers, is what we're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
during the Eisenhower administration, a lot of money went into the workers' hands, and that's how they kept going. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And all the measures they have right now and everything they're talking about, it ain't going to do that. I mean, negative rates for sure is not going to do that. I mean, negative rates is going to steal from the middle class even more.
Right. So now my question. So we're out of ammo. We got no aggregate.
Yeah.
There's an emergency. So far, these haven't been emergencies. Everything's fine. Nobody panic. And basically, there's obviously no confidence in the markets. It's not looking good right now. People have lost confidence in their banking systems with the amount of crap that bankers have been doing and really bad deals on the books. Now, what does this mean for housing now?
Well, no confidence vote in the economy. I mean, essentially, and this is where people have it wrong with housing. Look at it this way, right? Unemployment has been going up globally since the middle of last year. Mm-hmm. It's soon to be reported, and like I've mentioned this many times on my channel as well, too. You can pull up my videos and look this up for yourself. Mm-hmm. When it gets reported that unemployment is up year over year in Canada, the U.S., wherever, if you look at continuing claims in the U.S., unemployment's been up year over year since basically August. The yield curves basically told you that. Mm-hmm. But anyway, when that gets out there, are people going to care about buying houses? Are people even going to care about rate cuts at that point?
You know,
these are the questions that no one's going to ask. Well, I see the emails. Even in my channel, I see the emails. I see the comments. I see the replies on Twitter. I see pictures of restaurants that are essentially empty right now, mm-hmm. all over downtown Toronto. Some big places in downtown Toronto even. You think they care about rate cuts?
Well, here's the deal. If interest rates go down, it's going to drive more people into. I see sales going into double digits, percentage-wise. I'm saying, I honestly see that a lot of people have no idea what's happening. They think all is well. This virus is not made for Canada. We're giving people flyers at the airport. No one needs to worry. Now we got this pandemic that's spreading around. We got rate cuts galore. We got no more ammo in our artillery. I got your channel open, by the way. You look cute. And yeah, it's getting to a point, but I still see. Please, Evan, don't be mad. People will jump on houses like they're on fire and putting them out.
Listen, in the short term, hey, anything's possible.
Short term, yes. Short term, yes. They keep kicking the can down the road. It's just gonna really just extend the problem even further. And now with this first-time home buyer loans, lowering rates, giving and going more flexible on what do you call it? The stress testing. That's just going to damage. Yeah. You know, and I said this before, a long time ago. Remember this? I said that stress test works in every city in Canada except Toronto, the GTA, and Vancouver and the surrounding area. But the rest of Canada, the stress test works like a fine tooth comb. It works perfectly, but except in the two overpriced cities.
Yeah, no one really. The problem with that, and problem everything you're saying is too. In the short term, sure, but the problem is, again, I wouldn't jump on the FOMO. That's all I'm going to say. I wouldn't go ahead and jump on it here. You jump on it here, like I always say, it's the bus they don't see coming that does the most damage, and that's I think where we are right now. There's so much complacency out there that everyone's not looking around the corner, and around the corner is unemployment bust that'll just kill things more than anything else. You lose your job, you're going to care about rate cuts. You lose your job, you're going to care about low rates. You lose your job. You're going to care about this first-time homebuyer thing, whatever?
Okay,
Answer
then,
that for me.
but this leads to more of a federal level. Then this leads to no confidence in government. If there's a no confidence in governing, then everyone starts moving their money or valuables or assets from the bank.
Look, I mean, at some point that is going to happen, right? I mean, that
People,
is a serious scenario.
will we see runoffs this year?
I don't think this year. I mean, I'll be honest with you. With runoffs, I mean, we're still probably at least a year or two off from that. I mean, that something like that happens, that's like a last resort situation. So we're probably still at least a year or two off from that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and this whole thing of kicking the can down the road. I mean, look at this point with so little ammo left. How far are you going to kick that can? A month? 2 months? Like, how much you're really going to get now? Think about it.
Well, Evan, what happens when you run out of street to kick the can down? Meaning running out of money.
Well, and that, my friends, is called the piper having to get paid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
I mean, what you just said, right? I mean, the road is so short now. I kick the can down 20 houses. I'm at the end of the street. Then what do I do?
Yeah, you ran out of. Basically, it would be in this situation is time. You're running out of time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's really all it comes down to, right? I mean,
especially with this infection going around, it's not making things easier. And several countries completely shut down their economies because of, in quotations, the flu. They're still calling it the flu in Canada.
Oh, yeah. For the flu, Italy shutting down all their colleges and universities for 2 weeks.
And soccer teams and Serie A soccer,
yeah.
All that huge revenue that brings in from those soccer matches and Champions League and all that stuff, right?
Exactly, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
And the Dutch are calling in their army and putting up emergency hospitals and nursing homes. And
they're building 3 hospitals in 3 days in Iran.
Yep, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we all know what's going on in China right now.
Oh, nothing's happening in China. Apparently, it's been receding, and everyone's back to work.
Oh, of course. Hey, we all believe that, right?
Woo!
Woo! Yeah, there you
go. Guys, people asking in the comments who's on the phone. This is the McChronicle. Here he is right here. Look, this is his last video from today. Bank of Canada cuts rates, and now what? Guys, don't forget to follow him on Twitter. He's also on Twitter. Supreme Cannon's commenting on there. PC Principal's on there. Gary Madero's is on there. A lot of people from the channels commenting on there. Look, good to see us, kind of out and about. Everybody, help, kind of getting the information from the right sources, which is really good. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. I mean, me, you, whoever else. I mean, God, how many sources are there on Canadian housing now? I mean,
there's a lot now. There's a lot now. But 4 or 5 many years ago when my first channel before that one got taken down, that one was pretty more aggressive. But then I had to kind of redo it back. I think it was 2012 or 2010. I redid my channel. And,
yeah, that's right.
2012. I think I redid my channel and then started over again and I got a little softer. A little bit more. How do you say?
Toned down, so to speak, something like that. Okay, yeah.
Toned down.
I mean, it's kind of incredible what's happened with me. I mean, myself 2 years ago I had 100 subscribers, and now I'm at what, like 807, 808 right now, or whatever. So it's quite incredible.
The thing is, our channels like ours don't never ever get anything when it comes. That's all our blood, sweat, and tears.
Exactly.
If you pour gravy down your pants every time you go on YouTube, you'd have 2 million subscribers.
Oh, yeah.
Not because people want to watch that, it's because YouTube will promote that.
Or the video you did where it's you watching the impeachment and eating all the food in the store, calling it a waste of time.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
If you did that every day, you'd have 1 million subscribers, man.
Yeah,
you should do that every day, Mike.
Yeah, well, people will. There's his link to his channel there. Come on, guys. He's at 808. Let's get him up to 1,000 easy. Get the McChronicle up to 1,000. Come on, let's go, guys.
Let's get it, baby. Let's get it.
I wanted to. Okay, so now, come on. Tell me. Now, what's the main concern? What like of the last, let's say 3 days? What's the most concerning thing on your mind, like right now with Canada? In the last 3 days, what's the number one concerning thing that you should tell people to look out for?
I'm going to mention it again. Unemployment.
Yeah.
Keep watching all the layoffs. Keep watching what's going on around you. I mean, mainstream media should not doing it. Yeah, like 1,500 people are laid off from. I can't remember where. I mean, it's happening so often. I can't remember where it was from now.
Yeah, I actually
But
have it
anyway,
up here. I think I have it up here.
right.
I have it up here. I actually brought up more. So, like, trends in the housing market is going to cover more markets, unemployment, and credit application stuff,
Yeah,
yeah, stuff like that. Just stuff, whatever,
exactly.
Yeah, but I'm because everything goes back to housing in the end. If you don't have a good place to live, you're screwed.
Exactly.
You can't raise a
No
family.
job. Yeah, no job, no mortgage. No job, no job, no tenancy. It's really that simple, folks. Really that simple.
Mm-hmm. So jobs, what do you see happening? I know, yeah, more layoffs, but do you think I know this government, how it works. They just keep creating public sector jobs. So it looks like there's jobs, but meanwhile, it's the private sector, the mom and pops businesses that are actually funding this public sector. Do you see
That's right.
public sector growing further just to look good?
Oh, they're gonna pump it up like you never believe. Oh God, yeah, they're gonna keep doing that. But the only thing is, I mean, as you can see from what's happening recently, no matter what they do, it's not gonna they're not gonna be able to pump out jobs fast enough. And that's kind of the issue they're running into in recent months. I mean, starting in October, November, yeah, public sector's grown, but how much of has the private sector been in decline the last like 9 months?
Well,
I mean, with all the declines we've seen there's no way they can make up for that.
right. Right. Yeah, the
So
public sector is just more bureaucracy and red tape and more hindrance for us, right?
that's all it is. You've
And
been exactly right on that for what, the good part of a decade now. I
yep.
mean, no, I'm just saying, man. Listen, I mean, end of the day, I mean, the bigger the size of government, the higher the taxes, the higher the burden on us.
Mm-hmm.
The more than in our lives. I mean, we can get into a whole discussion on that, but I mean, generally, the more the public sector hires, the more the bureaucracy, the more they're in their lives. It's really that simple.
Can I ask you? I want to ask you an angry question so you could get mad.
Oh God. Okay, man, go
do you
for it.
remember that video I did a week ago? And it's all kind of around the news. You probably didn't see it because it's more out west. But do you remember the article I read where condo strata companies are having a tough time paying their condo insurance, so now they're asking the government to step in with taxpayers' money to pay their strata fees?
Oh, if you want to talk to the mortgage brokers, even in Ontario, they've been all over that the past like month or so. Yeah, I do distinct. I mean, I remember the video, but they've been talking about it, like the mortgage brokers around here for weeks, actually.
Good. Because that's been a big issue. So what happens, like, if you can't insure a building, okay, you can't get that mortgage if it's not insured, right?
Exactly. No insurance, no mortgage. It's that simple. Because if anything shall happen to the building or your unit or whatever, the lender is going to have no recourse against you to get its money. And that's the reason why they require insurance for you to get a mortgage. It's that simple.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, essentially it's that simple. No insurance, no mortgage.
Right, and a lot of deals have been falling apart here in BC. A lot of deals have been falling apart because people just can't secure the insurance. Now, let me ask you something, McChronicle. What do you like? Back in the day, you would secure a deal, a mortgage deal. You would send out the appraiser. The appraiser would come back and say, okay, this guy needs to do a 20-year or less mortgage. He can't do a 30-year mortgage or a 35-year mortgage because the integrity of the structure won't last the life of the mortgage. Nowadays, They're doing 40-year and 50-year mortgages and interest-only mortgages on structures that won't last more than 10 years.
Yeah, you want to get me mad? Ask me that one, right? Oh yeah.
But back 10 years ago, that was illegal to do a 30-year mortgage on a structure that's only going to last 10 more years.
Oh well. Yeah. Then the mortgage industry caught on that our regulators are about as awake at the switch as a dog won't get the candy when you put it out in front of him and tell him don't touch it. I mean, essentially, yeah. I mean, be honest with you, they don't call it a bubble for no reason. I mean, this stuff's been going on for the better part. I mean, after about 10 years, starting probably 2012, 2013, I would say it really started to get into gear. And some of the lending practices that were going on in Canada are just nuts. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, when the piper comes home to roost, which I think is going to be very, very shortly here, we're going to find out a lot of the stuff that's going on. Right. And all I'm going to say is we're going to find out the hard way. That's really, when you unwind a bubble, that's the only way you find out ultimately.
Yeah, they've been doing everything to keep this piece of crap going. Now that they're out of aggregation and they're out of tools and they're out of ammo, if there's a major emergency, what are they going to go to negative rates? If they go to well, I could see them going to negative rates so that because our economies in Canada and Australia and New Zealand and the UK are so heavily hinged on housing and mortgages and construction.
Yeah.
The fire, they call it fire. What is it?
Finance, insurance, and real estate. Yeah, I know what it is.
That's so heavily leveraged on our GDP. So they're going to have to go negative. They're going to have to do anything and everything to get this thing going, even if they have to steal from the middle class.
Oh, I hear you. I mean, we've been seeing it the last couple of years, even in Canada. I mean, they're going to keep every chick in the book to try and keep this going. But all I'm going to say on that is when the music stops, no matter what central banks or governments do. And I think now, based on the reaction we saw on Monday with the emergency rate cut, we're at the point now where there's essentially a no confidence vote, not just the Canadian economy, U.S. economy, Europe, wherever. There's no confidence vote now in the global economy. So no matter what central bank actually does, in the next couple of months, you're going to see how bad things really are.
Right. Any last words?
Stay safe out there, everybody. Be careful. Don't take on any unnecessary risks. Make sure you own a lot of precious metals. Make sure you don't own too many Canadian dollars if that's a possibility for you.
Canadian dollar is going to fall to the U.S. dollar in the next couple of weeks.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, yeah. Flip, yeah. I mean, I own a ton of U.S. dollars myself for that reason, and I've actually for a little while here and done pretty well on that, and don't plan on getting it back anytime soon. Mm-hmm. So U.S. dollars. Obviously, with the virus out there, make sure you're well prepared. Again, I'm not trying to cause panic in anybody. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you have plenty of food. Mm-hmm. Make sure if you live in a condo, you have a plan B somewhere, actually a physical land you can actually go to, because if it gets into a condo building, I mean,
yeah,
heaven forbid what's going to happen.
It's sayonara.
Oh God, yeah, 100%. We're going to go to an 8x6 balcony, like on the 40th floor somewhere. No, actually, I haven't.
You combed it?
I combed it because it's gotten too long to gel now, and obviously, me being the good old authentic Greek guy, if I went and gelled that thing, I mean, I'd use half a bottle probably in one day. So,
I have your photo, your video up here. Bank of Canada rates now what?
Yep.
So I have it up. So I'm looking at your hair. It looks pretty trimmed and proper there.
Hey, I have the best hair in all of YouTube. Okay, no one stop. No one judge.
All right. Okay, McChronicle, let me know if I know Evan, you're busy and stuff on Saturday nights, but if you want to come on Mike in the Night, and we're going to be talking about our friend Covey. So.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'll be in the comments somewhere. If I come on, I will. Probably won't be able to this Saturday, unfortunately. I'll probably be watching in the background wherever the heck I am.
Sure.
But yeah, definitely. Everyone, Saturday nights, midnight Eastern, 9 p.m. Pacific. Tune in.
Yeah. Thank you, McChronicle. God bless you.
No problem, man. I'll be in the comments probably rather soon here.
Thank you. Bye.
Take care, Mike.
That is Evan the McChronicle. I like this guy a lot. So here is his YouTube. Yeah, he got more subs. Good. Here's his YouTube. Guys, get over there now. Subscribe to his channel. We got 100 people watching this one right now. Get over there. He really takes this serious, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of us actually take this serious. You know, this is something we do. You know, it's something we do for you guys, right? Australian market still open for another hour and a half. Australian market, let's see where the all ords are. All ords, gold is still going down. All ords up 61.70. The ASX is still up 57 points at 63.82. So Australian dollar is barely keeping up above 66 cents on the US dollar. Okay, so let's find an article here real quick before we get the next caller on. So here it is. Blessing in the skies. Aussie celebrate last rate cut. Guys, this doesn't mean you jump on the bandwagon and buy a house for $2 million that's realistically worth 80 grand. You don't do that. Selbourne and Melbourne property prices trending upwards. You could go to jail for lying on your home loan application. That one right there that's got me really upset, because how many people fudge the numbers? How many people lie on the application? Not the applicant, The lender lies so the TDS will fit, so they can approve the deal, so when it gets sent to underwriting, it gets final approved, and then they go ahead and lie or create fake pay stubs. What about the bankers? What about the lenders? What about the underwriters that are approving deals that shouldn't be approved? Who could go? Why? The bank over there in Australia. What is that? That bank there, that famous bank in Australia that was caught doing 21 million illegal money laundering transactions. 21 million, not dollars. 21 million individual transactions of money laundering. Why? Why are they lying to us? Why are they allowed to lie to us, but then if someone lies on their application, home loan application, they go do time in jail? Yeah. All right. So we just had the McChronicle on, guys. Go ahead and subscribe. So that really, really, really grinds my gears. Have you ever lied on an loan application? Yes. I've never applied for I applied for sometimes I apply for a loan, but I don't have I can't really prove my income, so I've bought everything I needed with my own money, right? Right. Rate cut add fuel to the fire in Canada's housing markets, expert says. Toronto average home price spikes above 900 large amid sales surge. Big bull, big booty shit. Big bull. Yeah. Let's get our man on here. Who else is here? I wonder if we have Gary Medeiros here, if he's watching here. I wonder if he's watching. I'd like to get him on. Steve the plumber, I wonder where he is, because he spoke to me. I spoke to him earlier, like maybe 10 minutes, an hour before the show started. Right? So, oh man, Supreme Cannon! Woo! In the house. Elizabeth's Portuguese, guys. Everyone's asking what Elizabeth's background is in the comments. She is Portuguese, like me. We got Bob Smithers in the house, Little Rose Scratcher in the house. I think we have ABC in the house. Always be careful in the house. Yeah, McChronicle said, I just called Steve an hour ago. Let me call him. Let's see. I hope he's driving or something so we can disturb him. Stop picking up, guys. I'm not going to... I'll probably get him later. I'm not sure. Kevin Tavares in the house. He's Portuguese too. Who else we got? Big Azores population, Gatineau, Quebec. All right, let's continue here. Big 5 slash prime rates in wake of Pelosi's cut. This is a good one too. Here, I want to throw this one out there to help you guys out, make choices. Acceptance of cash deposits rare in real estate, money laundering inquiry hears. That's bull. There's people showing up with suitcases full of money to buy suitcases in cash to buy properties. And this is not one or two people. This has happened tens of thousands of times. Vancouver, the organization representing real estate agents in British Columbia, has told Provincial Inquiry into Money Laundering that its members have only ever accepted modest cash deposits in rare circumstances. Who believes that? Who believes that? Let me know in the comments. Who actually believes that? Rate cut will add fuel to the fire in Canada's housing markets, experts say. It's going to be an unexpected blockbuster year in the mortgage market, at least until and unless we see serious breakdown in the economy, said Rob McLister. Rob McLister, founder of a mortgage comparison website, told BNN Bloomberg in a television interview, if you start seeing unemployment tick half point higher, then all bets are off on the mortgage outlook this year. That's all. All we need is another point to tick up in the unemployment, and you start to see. But the thing is, I didn't ask this to the Chronicle. I should have asked them this. A majority of people now that are buying and owning homes, they're not even Canadian anyway. So what does it matter if the people work or not? If a majority of all the empty homes and stuff are all foreign owned, if the Canadians don't own them, like what would it matter that much, right? All right, we go here. Go to jail. All right. CBRE sees record $50 billion investment for commercial real estate this year. It'll be $5 billion higher. This is in Australia than 2018. So again, a lot of these companies are not building homes for middle class, average earning families. They're trying to build high end more, and it's not really high end. It's just if they say it's high end. Like every apartment in Canada is a condo. Don't make me show you what a condo is down in West Palm Beach. I'll show you what a real condo looks like. Make the condo owners poop their pants. Yes, Alan is asking, Canada has a style of food, but perhaps a specific dish. Canada's pancakes with maple syrup. Tig Nim says, Mike, I will build you a cardboard house and sell it for $475,000. The McChronicle is saying foreign purchases of real estate globally are down 50% from 3 years ago. Yeah, but if we've laundered $200 billion into real estate from 2010 to 2014, that's a lot of homes to own. That's from just those years, $200 billion. BPOD saying Canada will become Brazil soon enough if it hasn't been radically transformed demographically already. It can't become Brazil. Because in Brazil, everybody speaks Portuguese. In Canada, everybody speaks not English. Woo! Okay, so let's keep going here. Rate cut will add fuel to the fire. We got this already. So, and then we got, I want to keep this one open. Yeah, I want to follow the markets are still open in Australia right now for another hour and 24 minutes. We're doing the show. Okay. Toronto average home price spikes above 900 large amid sales surge. 900 large. There's another one. Toronto average home prices spike above 9. Okay, let's put some audio on this.
Available to buy continues to dwindle. Home sales in Toronto surged more than 45% in February versus a year ago. A continuing trend shows the number of homes listed for sale falling, and the combination of surging sales and fewer listings bumped the average selling price to more than $910,000. Now, another part of this storyline is, what does this all mean for Canadian home buyers and the mortgage market? For that part of the story, we're joined now by Rob McLean.
All right. Toronto real estate prices return to double-digit growth as inventory drops. So let's check out our inventory here. Where are you? Where's this? Toronto benchmark change, average sales price chart, total home sales. Here we go. Units per month, contrast sales. Okay, here's sales. This is it. This is what we're looking for. Sales to new listings. There's your new listings there. There's your sales. Yeah, it's down big time. December of 2019 was down, December of 2019 was really down. January had an uptick. The biggest uptick we saw last year was in April 2019. It's actually May 2019. We had 20,000 listings. and almost the same amount of houses sold that sold this last month. So that article was right, because look how many sold, look how much was on the market, and look how many sold, and look how many are on the market, almost the same. So sales are up, definitely. You're seeing an uptick in sales. And Greater Toronto January activity listings. So yeah, there's a lot less on the market. There's back to 2017 there. In 2017, we had a lot less listings, 8,800. But 2019 listings were about 13,000 for January. So these are just January active listing, guys. It's not every month of the year. So 2009 was huge. Look how many listings. That's when things, remember 2007 and 8, what happened, right? Everything went on the market, right? All right, let's keep going here. Back to better dwelling. We'll see what else they got here. Canadian household HELOC debt is barely growing. Why? Because there's no more room. HELOC debt isn't growing. Why? Because everyone's pretty much maxed out. A lot of people, when they take a mortgage or they get a phone call at home saying, hey, we got a second mortgage for you. You don't have to do nothing. Come in and sign a paper, and we'll go ahead and give you some checks in the mail or a little debit card and use it against your house. So a lot of people are having a really tough time getting themselves out of debt. Vulnerable women are being hurt by Quebec's housing crisis. Coalition wars? The organization is calling to the Legault government to invest the necessary funds in a large social housing project as part of next week's budget. With the approach of International Women's Day, March 8th, women's shelters and housing organizations are joining forces to call on the Quebec government to resolve the housing crisis affecting thousands of vulnerable women and their children. Wow. Coalition held on Sunday morning news conference asking Prime Minister François Legault's government to invest the necessary funds in a large social housing project of the next budget. To be tabled March 10, the coalition has demanded mandatory universal rent control to be put in place as soon as possible. So it looks like they're going to be taking care of the women in Quebec who are struggling with housing. What if somebody identifies, yeah, I guess you could identify as a woman and apply for it. That's fine. I guess that would, in today's society, that's fine. PEI housing shortage continues despite record year in construction. So Prince Edward Island, a lot of people from the coast have been moving there. From the coast. PEI is on the coast. But I'm saying people from the interior, from the Greater Toronto area. I've gotten several emails for people who have moved to Prince Edward Island and basically leaving the big cities, and the construction unfortunately cannot keep up with the amount of people moving in. So here it is, guys. Prince Edward Island is on track for the third consecutive year of record new home construction, but the tenants are still feeling the pinch from the provincial vacancy rate. That is the lowest in the country. So the current vacancy rate is 1.2%, reported by Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation in an improvement from October 2018, when it stood close to zero. So they've been ramping up construction. I have a Portuguese contracting friend with him, and like 13 guys went to PEI summer of last year. They've been working steady. Steady Freddy. They've been steady working. And now in the colder months, they're all working indoors. They're all doing renovations and stuff. With people sold their houses in Toronto and moved to Prince Edward Island and bought a house for like $230,000, right? So, and you get land there. Like you could get land with your house there. It's a little bit different when you're out there. All right, let's keep going here. So we got more layoffs happening at Oracle, layoffs to hit Europe. Dublin offices, tech giant. This was sent to me by our friend Patrick, who is watching us from Dublin, just outside of Dublin, Ireland. He's saying 1,300 positions are being basically terminated. This company has been having a really tough time finding good help because their offices where they're located, people can't afford the rent there, especially out of college. So 100 face layoffs as TPC rebuilds Port Neches site. This was sent to me too. This is from today's date. More layoffs, man. Look at the fire there in that oil place there. Roughly 100 out of the 183 employees at TPC's group's Port Neches Butindi extraction facility faces layoffs. So there's the damage there. I think this is in Australia, actually. I get messages from everywhere. Sydney properties spending less time up for sale, new figures show. So houses are being put on the market and being sold almost immediately. They're not spending too much time on the market, according to this. They're saying 50.9% of more than 26,000 property listings was up for less than 30 days, up from 1/3 of homes in January and February 2019. Further, 11.3% was the market for between 30 to 90 days. Up until the middle of last year, it was a buyer's market, and every man and his dog knew that, and they were sitting and waiting as they felt prices going down. So this is what somebody's saying there in the quotations there. So there it is, guys. People, this is what happens. People stand around and they start bidding on properties. And it's just homes like this. It's for millions of dollars, though. Millions. Like, if I moved to Australia, I'd be in poverty. I would be completely, like, I'd be homeless. I couldn't afford to live in Australia. It's like $50 for a pack of cigarettes. Look it up. You think I'm making it up? It's $50 for a pack of cigarettes. 45 or $50 for a pack of cigarettes in Australia. So we got Covey there. Student accommodation at Sydney University turned into an isolation center. The building would be used to house international students returning to Australia who were required to undergo 14-day periods of self-isolation. So that's it. The Australians are on the hook just to make sure these students are good. Because remember, the international students is a huge business for countries. They sold the student loan scam to a lot of my friends and stuff that were in high school at the time. A lot of people, and even the last decade, they bought into the whole student loan thing. And ever since student loans became federalized, the price of student loans skyrocketed because they were just giving away money for free at these crazy rates. So ever since they federalized student loans, it screwed everything up. Before that, from like 1981 to 1982, 83, 84, students, college tuition was super cheap. Books were cheap. But then after, in 1988, 89, they started federalizing student loans, and it ruined everything. It just destroyed everything for the potential to be out of debt when you're done college, and that just destroyed everything. There's Scotia Boy right now saying prices in Scotia, Halifax are getting stupid. Can't find anything under 400 large for a detached. That's correct. A lot of foreign investing going on there. We should get Scotia Boy to call into the show. Add me on Skype. Mike Martin's 1980. All right. We got unemployment discussion coming up. We got more coming up here on the show. Let's see if we could get, we got the McChronicle on. Oh, there's Steve there. I wonder if Steve's still working. No, Steve Stevens, it's $50 here. Let's look it up so you guys know I'm not making up. Pack of smokes. How much does it cost in Australia? Not making this up, guys. $40 to $45 a pack. There it is right there. This is showing here the price of a pack of cigarettes in different countries. Okay, this is in US dollars, I think. Yeah. So there it is there. You could buy a pack of smokes in Pakistan for 99 cents. Russia's 2, South Korea's 3, Spain is 5. Man, look at Ireland, $13 for a pack of smokes. Holy smokes. And then Australia, $20 US. So that's almost 40 Australian dollars. And that's how much food you could buy in the States for a pack of smokes in Australia. Oh, someone's calling me. Oh, it's Lord Humongous. Yo, Lord, what's up, buddy?
Yo, I got some information on some banking.
Lord, are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, right here, buddy. Sorry, I had my volume cranked down. So just be
That's
careful
right.
saying the CV word. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to get this
No,
video
I'm not
flagged.
nothing about CV. So,
Yeah.
so anyways, today I was going around and we went to run some errands and stuff. I was helping to drive a friend around, and there's a major bank, and they won't allow her to deposit more than $500.
Okay, hold on a sec. To deposit, not withdraw.
Not withdraw, but deposit.
Five
So like
bills.
$500. I mean, most people's like rents and mortgages are way over that amount. So they're only allowing. This is a major bank. They're only allowing $500 max deposits per business day in cash.
That is very strange, dude.
Yeah, and now check this out.
Okay.
So how I was telling you about like the local shops getting cleaned out on silver
Yeah.
here. Well, a lot of these major third party like bullion dealers and stuff, they're on back order, dude, for like on silver especially for 8 weeks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And what these guys finally came out and told another friend of mine that was trying to make an order, he says that the mint doesn't have the silver supply. So they're backed up on everything because
Well,
I think a lot of it has to do with the transportation and everything that's being shut, clogged up and stuff.
Well, there's a lot of problems. There's people from the last like 10 years, okay, that have been trying to get their gold from Deutsche Bank where they bought gold certificates. Okay?
Right.
And there's some people that bought it at a good time when gold was, let's say, 1,100, 1,200 an ounce, right?
Right.
And now they're calling for their gold, and they're like, I want my gold, and
Right.
I would like my gold, and can you please give it to me? And they're saying it's in the mail.
But this is coming from like your, like some of these large like third party bullion sellers, like your SD bullion.
Yeah, this is Deutsche Bank.
Right. This is Deutsche Bank. I get that part. I can understand why they would probably be the first to not give clients back their precious metals physically.
Mhm.
But I just thought that I thought I should call in and tell you guys about that. That was it's very bizarre. And I mean, like down here, there's a lot of people clearing off toilet paper, cleaning supplies. You can't find, antibacterial soaps. Like they're all getting cleared out, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts. It's crazy. And then there's like just you don't see the same activity on the streets like I used to see.
Yeah.
Like there's a heck of a lot of less people out on the streets right now today.
But okay, hold on a sec. Usually you have troubles when you try to withdraw X amount of money. So, okay, what if you went into the bank to try and pay off your credit card bill in cash?
Exactly. Would they take that? I guess if it was with that bank, they might accept it. But as far as putting the money directly into like a checking account or whatever, yeah, it was a $500 max deposit per day. And this is just something they came up with just recently. So yeah, there's a lot of fishy stuff going. And then plus, you heard about all the trading accounts, the different platforms that got shut down, like Robinhood, TD Ameritrade had problems.
Yeah.
Fidelity had problems all across the board. Oh, all of a sudden it's some glitch, right? When we have this mass,
Sell-off.
Well, not just a sell-off, but the day that they had the rally back up to 1,200 yesterday or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So like all these people that trade stocks that are actually in the stock market are getting shut out. So basically they're just robbing people, anybody that has a computerized account, and then they call it a glitch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just criminal, dude.
Well,
I mean,
remember I made a video that they shut down the TXS when there was mass sell-offs, right? Last week.
Exactly. And that's part of, every time the entity that does that, they're just robbing on a mass scale from everybody that's involved.
Mr. Zach 888 says banks already have plenty of reserves from Federal Reserve. They don't want any more deposits.
You think that's what it is?
It could be, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I know. I mean,
that's
there's
the most logistical or the most logical answer you could get.
Well, it
there.
goes back and plus all this repo garbage they've been pumping in the upon trillions of dollars.
Uh-huh.
And that's all unwinding right now. That's coming apart at the seams. I think they've lost control. It's really bad, man, and it's getting worse every day.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but like I said, people should go out and right now get as much physical metal as you can possibly get your hands on, especially silver, because no matter what they do, a lot of these people that don't like silver, the banks especially, they don't want people to buy it because they know that it'll always be a monetary metal, regardless if it's an industrial metal as well.
Well, there's a lot less silver on Earth than there is gold, eh? A lot of people don't know that.
I know that. I'm sure of it. I mean, I feel confident in that. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that there's a reason why they have suppressed silver, especially out of all the other metals, is because that's basically what the definition of a real dollar is, right? It's a weight of silver. It's 371.25 grains. And that's what makes up a real dollar, not all this other artificial stuff.
Can I ask a question? Are you stocked up on toilet paper?
Yeah, I just bought an extra couple cases today.
Good for you. Toilet paper is important. In Australia, they've completely run out of toilet paper.
Yeah, I mean, these are the necessities that people need. That's why I've been stressing. Buy the stuff right now while you still can. Get toilet paper, get extra canned foods, get clean water. I mean, it's just, you got to have that stuff on hand, And then there was another thing I heard too. I mean, this might sound a little conspiratorial, and I'm not going to try to I'll keep it. But there's another channel that I follow, and they were talking about some kind of deep impact, possibly that might be the reason why China shut down and the whole, infection. Yeah, and the infection is that they're not telling us what might happen. So, and there's some channels out there if you check it out. But
Send me a link. You still haven't sent me your address on Skype.
Yeah, I did.
You did? Hold on.
Yeah, it's in your messages.
Okay, let me check. Link.
Yeah, those are different stories I sent you.
Link. Yeah, send it again, dude. I don't see it here.
All right, I'll type it in after I get off the phone.
Please type it right after, okay? Because then this way, don't message me right after. Just send it, because tomorrow I'm going to start putting together a package for you.
All right, brother. Well, I just wanted to chime in and let you guys know.
All right, Mr. Humongous from the Humongous Wastelands in...
Hold on.
Yeah.
One more thing. I think that mortgage market is falling apart, too, and I think this next housing correction or collapse, it's going to be epic, dude. It's going to be epic, man. I'm talking 60, 70% cut on these prices. They can't sustain that internal mortgage bubble.
Well, it's bleeding. It's going to start bleeding really fast.
It's all connected to the 30-year note, dude. The 30-year bond. Look at the bond rates. That's what a lot of people don't see.
We're seeing
that bond is collapsing, dude.
Well, the bond market's breakdancing right now. It's inverting back and forth.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's the key to the whole affordable housing issue. So, anyways, all right, brother. Cool.
God bless. God bless, Lord Humongous. We'll speak soon.
All right, brother. Bye.
Bye. That is Lord Humongous from the Humongous Wastelands from south of Colorado, Denver in the state of Colorado. And Steve Stevens in the house. We got Leela P. Solid Extra in the house. Haven't seen him in a while. We got Metal Gear Mark III. The Raven, of course, is in the house. Raven's always, when he's not working, he's always in the house. When he's not working, he's in the house, man. All right, we got... That was good. Lord Humongous called and gave us an update, too. That's really good. Let me see if we could get... let me see who else we could get on the show here. For housing... Who else we got here? I'm just going through this real quick, guys. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. Yeah, I got David Xavier here just messaged me, said rate cut from BC this morning here in the messages. What else do we got here? Man, is anybody out there? Well, there's a lot of people out there, but it looks like they're away from their Skype and dee. All right, we got lots of articles to read anyway. It doesn't matter. I'm gonna buy a case of tampons for barter. Hopefully, they don't announce a price check on the speaker. Says the Raven. Yeah, you gotta watch out. Raven's really tough when it comes to that kind of stuff. He's got to keep his macho image. All right, guys, let's do a plug for the channel real quick here before we get our next guest on. Guys, if you haven't yet, please join the channel. There's a couple of people with little symbols next to their name. It's because they have joined the channel. Please join the channel. Be part of the community long term if you can. Really appreciate it. Also, don't forget to check out the playlists. If you want to see a cool playlist, watch this one here. Project Tabletop, where I build a store. Here, I'll even put it in the comments there for you guys. It's basically when I convert this drug den here, and I converted it into the game store I'm in today. So if you guys... Oh, Ashima wants to come on. She just waved at me. Hold on, let me find her here. Okay, I'll get her on right now. She's out in Ontario there, just outside of Toronto. Guys, don't forget to do that. Guys, don't forget to follow me on Facebook. I'll give you guys my Facebook. If you guys want to send any show tips, please go ahead and send me show tips here if you can. I usually have my Skype off through the week. Nobody panic. Guys, go and buy a Lord Humongous mug or buy a Raven mug. Support the channel. We got stickers too. This is a Mike in the Night Planner Chaos sticker. Really, really cool sticker. This one, I sold 3 of these the other day. These are really nice stickers. It's Planner Chaos. And basically, she's got a red eye and a barcode above her eyebrow. So, pretty cool stuff. Pretty cool stuff here. Lots of stuff of the future. Get the Mike in the Trends in the Housing Market pillow. Look at that, guys. Trends in the housing market in the game store. And, guys, you could always tip me on PayPal. And you could always follow me on Instagram. If you guys want to follow me on Instagram, I'll give you my Instagram. Go ahead and message me on Instagram. All right, let's get our friend Ashima on the house. Let's give her a call right now and find out what is going on her neck of the woods.
Hi, Mike.
Hi, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing fantastic. So, what is going on? What is on your mind? What can you tell us?
I mean, a lot is going on. People are going berserk. They want to create the FOMO. That's what they want to create.
Mm-hmm.
And Fed cut the rates. We need to know that White House has a realtor sitting there, right?
Yeah, all these people own property, right? Especially the president of the United States made his billions on real estate.
Yep. Yes, absolutely. DJ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
DJ is...
No, I don't think they care. I don't think they care about what we want anymore. I think that's already out the window.
They already bought these properties. You know, the Bilderbergs. You know so much. Everybody knows so much. It's all in the open out there. Like last year, you know what Pierre Poilievre was asking whom about the financial positions they made, and they sold. You know what I'm talking about, the finance minister of Canada.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
BF.
But
right?
The attitude is, I did a video about a week ago about this, where they're doing what they're doing. We know what they're doing. And you know what they do? They look at us and say, what are you going to do about it?
Yeah, but we can't do, because they are the ones who are moving things. They are the ones who's pushing the Fed or the central bankers to push, because they know that they will fire the central bankers. Central bankers, they only care about the jobs. People are losing jobs like crazy, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Just go see the bank. The way they are making people. I know of people personally left jobs driving Uber. What do you tell me? Fire is on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You know that, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Where is the money which we've been forced to pay? I mean, we need to understand that our people that we've elected are actually only bothered about their holding. Eventually, it's about what they hold and they know. Mm-hmm. And they will always know than us. They will always be able to, manipulate us, because they already bought like on the low, and then they want to sell high, and
Mm-hmm.
nobody's buying. Nobody and buying these rates. So why they drop these rates? I mean, like people have gone berserk, and I'm hearing people
Well,
telling me the property
they got
will
to
go.
continuously kick the can down the road, right?
But you know what they're saying? Property prices, and nobody is even looking at the state. They don't understand. Well, that's the out of the card. They have actually cut the rates to show to everyone because of coronavirus there is a recession, which there is.
Well,
In
they're
my
blaming.
husband,
Well, the thing is, they've been holding back on COVID right now. They're saying there's nothing wrong, and they're handing out pamphlets at the airports. And I think a lot of people are in a lot of trouble right now with this.
my husband is on he gives his comments to a lot of websites which quote him on the movement of trade. I don't want to name it openly here. I don't think it's fair on me to do that. But I can definitely tell you because I know firsthand of what's happening. My husband knows everything on what's happening on CPC and ports, the gateways. Uh, and I from my background, from where I come, I have seen countries grow. I'm Marat, like I'm an Indian origin, but yes, I'm from UAE. So we've seen it grow in front of us. We've seen that development and whatever. So I know it's we tend to know what's happening, but there's a facade out of facade. Everything is so good, everything is so rosy. That's really not fair. One should be fair to people who live in your own country. Let's be fair to each other.
Yeah.
So these people more than us because they are the ones who drive the markets. You know it. And it's just not in real estate. You look at the metals, you look at everything. They all know it before us. So might as well don't even play a game with them. Just let them win. Be happy. Let them be happy. Eventually it's all going to come to an end, Mike. You can't go on like this. You can't be showing people that you're working for people's interest and not being doing it. It doesn't work it's not going to work for long.
Right. Right. It's going to get to a point where they're going to have to shut it. It's beyond now. They're going to have to go into negative rates if they're going to keep doing this. We're going to lose confidence in the government, and they're going to go cashless. And once they go cashless, it's going to close a lot of doors, and it's going to be permanent.
Yeah. So the bonds are at the lowest low. Never in the history of bonds have the bonds gone below 1%. The 10-year. I'm looking at the 10-year T, USD.
Yeah, it was
like
0.9, right?
The 1%. So this is the first time. So that is one thing that we definitely don't want to. That's a very, very sad picture. That means everybody is expecting the interest rates to go even lower.
Yes.
And they're buying the bond at a higher price, right? And that's why the yield is going less. So you should, there is like an arrow on the interest rates go down. The bond prices go up and the yields go down. That's how it works.
Well,
right?
yeah, that's how it's worked when our economies are set to autopilot, but they're not on autopilot. They're getting our trusty governments that we put into power to handle things for us and just ruin it, basically.
You know what? Actually, they are going against the rules of this is called insider trading. If I'm sitting on that position, and I am, but you can't pin it out because this is real estate and they're lowering the interest rates because they know they own real estate, so they want to get rid of it. So just look a few years ago when the BMFM finance minister was selling his holdings in a trust. Trust, it all. Just go watch it. It's all online.
Okay, where are you calling from? A lot of people asking where you're calling from.
I'm calling from
Ontario,
what should I say?
GTA.
Absolutely. I don't want to be very specific, but yeah, from GTA, very near Toronto.
Toronto area, yeah.
In Hamilton.
Okay, yeah. Because sometimes your oh my god, your photo from your account sometimes shows up on the screen.
That's okay. That's okay. This is not me.
Okay.
It's not me. But I am calling from here. I'm a Canadian, and I'm proud to be Canadian. I think we all belong wherever we are. We all have the right to be happy. But see, politics has to be the benefit of the country and the people. If it is not, if it is in my own interest, if I'm a politician and I'm only working in my own interest, I think I'm not doing my job because that's my job.
Right.
to take care of. Yeah, so well, God bless.
Now, let me ask
God
you,
bless
have
them.
you found any homes?
Well, I have found many, but the prices for those homes, um, they're just not in my budget. I think I might as well, Mike. It's better to if you look at the calculations. If you see the property tax, just calculate. Just calculate the rent and the property tax and the insurance on the house. It's
If you can
better,
get
and
insurance.
yeah. But that's what I tell people: never buy a house just to own. Just look at what you're paying down. Whatever you're paying
Mm-hmm.
should be what you're paying as a rent. The moment that equation goes off, it's not worth to buy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because then, I mean, like, nobody tells anyone all these things. Nobody, even the banks are oh, buy a house for 1.2 million. Oh, buy a house for 900. Why do you want people to suffer? Why?
It's gonna put
Let
them in,
people buy.
into like a financial economic slavery for the rest of their lives. And if they can't sell the house for more than what they bought it for, so they can cover their nut, they're screwed.
At least I'm paying a $2,000, and the day we don't work, I go and live in a 200,000 house
Mm-hmm.
somewhere far away by the riverside, or maybe a cottage. I'm happy. I can retire early. Till and I'm in that stage. We're in that stage of our life that we are happy in what we have. Definitely don't want to lose what I've earned. This is my hard-earned money.
Yeah,
So that's
I'm
what I
with
tell
you on
them.
that. So, like, you notice how I don't know if you saw my video about how every apartment in Canada is considered a condo, and then I went
Yes,
on and I showed everybody
I
what a
watch
real
it.
condo looks like down in Florida, with the
Yes.
marble entrance, with the beautiful crown moldings and the beautiful gold trim, and the right by the beach. You know what I'm saying?
So who's cheating the people of these things in Canada? It's the people on position who are passing these designs, who are charging. I don't know what's the bureaucracy, what they're charging to the builders, what the builders are delivering to the end clientele. It
Well,
is
in my
sad.
opinion, a lot of these places, they're just regular apartments in Canada. They call everything a condo now. Like, this is not a condo. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, just go look at those condos. They call them condos in downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Mike, you can't breathe. You can't breathe. And they're made in a bathtub below that because it's next to the lake.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know when that bathroom starts leaking. It just gives me a night. It just gives me a scare to even live there. I can't live there.
Mm-hmm.
I need a place to live in. I don't need a rattle.
I
And
understand.
people
Yeah,
are
that's the problem. So a lot of people are forgetting that back in the day, you would start in a condo, then eventually get a house, a semi-detached, then a house. But nowadays, everyone just goes straight to the condo and stays in the condo. They don't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's where the jobs are, or that's where and the poor people don't even have a car, can't afford a car, or just can't park it because there is a problem. Forget about even affording it. I mean, who can park it? Where's the space to park it downtown? Where will
Mm-hmm.
you park it?
Okay,
And
now
and
let me ask
eh,
you a question. What do you think is going to happen with Covey? Our friend Covey's coming to Canada. The sickness is coming, and everyone lives in a condo. What's going to happen?
that is it. So that is what is going to happen. What happened on the ship.
That's a big problem. I don't know if people understand how big of an issue this really is.
So they are understanding. A lot of people are moving out. People are not happy. I personally know of people who are not happy living in condos. Even if they have to leave and go to faraway places, I don't want to name them because I definitely know they're moving out of Toronto. They're moving out of GTA.
I know people moving to Prince Edward Island. I knew some people that moved to Niagara Falls. I know some other people that moved to London, Ontario. I know some people that moved to I think it's called Stratford, Ontario.
Yeah, they're moving to Bradford.
Bradford.
There is one Brantford and there is one Bradford.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are moving to Brantford and Bradford outer skirts, towards the 400, they're moving that Brantford, and here
Mm-hmm.
towards Hamilton, they're moving Brantford, one of those. They are moving all out of, they want to decongest, because the jobs, I mean, eventually what jobs are there? Retail jobs, and those also are now less in number. You
Well,
seldom find them.
they can't get stock in. You know that they can't get stock into their store because now with the distribution shortages and all this stuff that's happening, what do you think they're going to distribute? Number one is food. Food is going to be the number one distribution. They don't care about clothing. They don't care about shoes. The number one thing open line with open distribution should be food. Everything else, we could wait until after this thing passes.
See, Mike, the way we have been brought up, we mostly, the diet that we eat, like I eat, is 99.9% vegetarian, which is lentil and veg food. And lentil, you can store as many as we want. Lentil and rice, it's very simple, and it's a high protein diet.
Yeah, you could do that. And also, canned corn is not that bad. All kinds of stuff. Corned beef. Tuna.
Yeah,
Tuna's
so
good. Tuna's good.
Yeah. So I recommend people to go veg and simple lentil with cumin, and flavors and things like that. And
Mhm.
you know that in the place I have been brought up in, there are ways to fight viral infections.
Yeah, of course.
A lot of camphor and we've got herbs. Just keep them in the house, and they absorb all the virus and bacteria.
What's that one? What's
Just
that
burn
one
camphor.
that very popular one? They use it as a spice, but you could also take it as a pill form.
Garlic.
No. It's like a very strong spice that comes from India. It's
Yeah.
very
So we have that's in Hindi it's called lavang. I've forgotten the English. I'll just search Google. It is called cloves.
yeah. I
We'll
think
have
that's what it
cloves.
is. It's very, 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 very powerful stuff. It
Yes.
actually clears
That's
clears you right out if you have any infections or anything.
that's what I add to my tea, and I have it. I have cardamom. I put ginger, and I tell everyone about it. Do some breathing exercises if you really want to keep away from these viral infections. Mike, you'll be surprised. I'm a mid-aged, even above mid-age. So
Turmeric. Somebody in the comments said turmeric. That's what it is. Turmeric.
yeah, turmeric. We don't cook food without turmeric,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And I tell everyone to keep on doing yoga. It keeps you hale and hearty. And I tell everyone, don't go crazy to buy a house. I know of people in this last week, they went crazy to just book a house because they told me they don't have any income otherwise. So they just booked houses to be sold on assignment. I don't know why people do that, Mike. Imagine if my assignment doesn't get approved
Hmm.
and the interest rates go up. I mean, imagine if the interest rates go up. You think the interest rates are going to be like this?
Oh
So
no.
this is what I tell all our listeners today.
Hmm.
Mike, if you see the cycle when the yields come down, that is just before the interest rates go up. That's why I tell everyone, and that's why they bring the interest rates down. The way they brought it down, they were supposed to, 2019, they were increasing the rates, and suddenly they're down.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it's
they had
not
to
going to take.
increase rates because the problem is, yeah, the
So
economy.
look, nobody.
We're going into inflation, right?
That's exactly what I was coming. We don't know. This is COVID. If it is COVID, then there could be a supply side inflation.
Hmm.
You see, now they are cutting inflation rates for a demand side inflation. So I don't, they have lost it. They don't even know what they're targeting. Are they targeting supply or demand?
Yeah.
What happens is there is less supply. You're going to have inflation shooting up.
Right.
And this is going to work as a poison, and you will see the interest rates going up, Mike. This is just the preparation for the interest rates going up. That's why I tell people, don't be fooled. Wait, you don't have to go in and go book on houses like crazy.
Hmm.
I mean, why do you need to book a townhouse for 700? A 1700 square townhouse for 750? Like, excuse me.
You know what you could buy
Why?
in Houston, Texas for that much money? Oh my God.
Absolutely. So, I have a spouse, and my husband
Hmm.
works on the gateways. Like manages all he knows about the gateways. What do I tell you? I can't give you more information than that.
Hmm.
Global gateways of trade. So, beyond that, I can't say, but I'm telling you, Mike, it is the supply chains. The moment they start breaking, I can't get into the real details, but it's not fair on my part.
Hmm.
But let me tell you, not be emotional at times like this.
Yeah.
Have patience. because this is just a reset. It's going to be a reset. This interest rates are a reset now. They can be reset maybe 6 months later. And when you book the house and you can't close it, or you don't get an approval, or you get an approval at a higher rate,
Mm-hmm.
and why do we all do that? And people are that's the only source of income, selling houses to each other.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the economy.
Mm-hmm.
There's more than that, right? We're human beings. What are we inculcating in our populations?
Well, they're not. They're
What is
not.
a
They're obviously not looking out for us, right, or our best interest, right?
But we have to look out for each other's interests, right? We
Yeah,
can't
that's
just
why
keep
you're
on
on the show
hoarding it.
tonight. That's why you're talking to us.
Yeah, so we can't keep on hoarding and selling property. See, I'm telling you, Mike, you'll be surprised. I can buy a house down payment, but that's not the way I am made up of. We're not made up of only hoarding and that mentality, because I know that I if I do this, I might make a short term, but I'm not gonna gain as a human being in the long term.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't start changing, this mentality of consumerism, always consuming, we
Well,
have to get
we've
over
been
this.
consuming. We're a throwaway society. We always want the next high when it comes to buying the next thing, shopping.
Yeah, we got to find peace within ourselves first.
Mm-hmm.
That's when yeah, that's very, very important. Otherwise, we will completely lose it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
As,
definitely. Okay. Any last
yeah.
words?
No, I really enjoyed talking to you, and very best to everybody. We all need it.
Mm-hmm.
Just be patient and don't go overboard while buying houses. It's going to be spring market now. It's in your budget. Make a budget and then go ahead with it. If it is not in your budget, let it go.
All right. All right, Ashima. Thanks so much for calling this week, and we'll have you on again soon when you get some time.
Okay. Cheers.
Thank
Bye.
you. Have a good night. Bye. All right. There we go. Came on the show to give us an update on what's happening. And really good when you get some guests on from all over the country to give us an update on what's happening in different pockets of different pockets of Canada, giving us the update. All right, let's see what we got here. What do we got here? Wow, we got 172 people watching the trends in the housing market tonight. Holy smokes. All right, guys, we got some time left in the show. Let's see if we can get, who can we get on the show? We already had Evan, the market guy. Check out the beginning of the show. Let's see if we can get Steve in. Been trying to call Steve for a while. Let's see if he picks up and give us an update on what's happening. He's got a little bit of insight, Steve. Yeah, Steve ain't picking up, man. I don't know where he's at. My biggest fan on the show is Tig Nim, by the way. Ordered a bunch of stuff from the channel. I just kind of want to throw that out there. And thanks, Tig, for sending us some pictures of the stuff, some of the stuff you picked up. You said you're getting a lot of good compliments from people, right? Lady as usual. Hey, Mike, Scotty F in the house. Red Pill Gary, millennials are broke, and once all the boomers move into old age homes and die, houses will be cheap again. Call Gary Medij. I don't know if he's here. Is Gary watching this? Is he still awake? It's kind of late where he's at. I can get Supreme Cannon on to discuss the rate cuts. Let's get Supreme on for a bit here and give us a bit of. The Raven said he's working on a plan for Saturday's show. Good, he can help me co-host the show on Saturday. All right, let's get Supreme Cannon on the show here.
Hola.
Hey, what's up, dog?
Oh, this and that,
Okay, rate cuts. Rate cuts. They're already forecasting a huge housing spring market. This is not helping anybody, dude.
No, it's it kind of belies the idea we've got this thundering economy, right? That sounds a little improbable. I mean, I guess the idea is you preemptively cut rates to try to keep markets hanging in midair while the La Cerveza makes its way through the supply chain.
Yep.
Let alone what it will what it will do to people, but it will definitely have an effect on the economy. There's no avoiding it now.
We got somebody in the comments. Can we talk about home equity lines of credit? Well, here's the problem. Home equity lines of credit as of today is barely growing, and in my opinion, Canadians are becoming a little more cautious about using their homes like ATMs. Office of the Superintendent of Financial Institution filings show loans secured on residential real estate slowed dramatically. So what's happening is a lot of people are not borrowing against their homes and or are not using their homes as ATM machines because they're starting to see that here it is secured real estate. Oh, that's in billions. $304 billion, dude.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's in Canadian dollars.
Insane.
Billions. $304 billion.
Yeah, well, home equity. I remember Evan saying home equity was 16% of GDP. One in every $6 circulating in the economy is borrowed against somebody's house.
That's right.
That's not good. That's not healthy at all. That's not wealth creation by any means. Although I suppose it constitutes a massive wealth transfer to somebody, whoever they're selling all the junk to is probably making out like bandits for now. But again, that's not something to plan the immediate future around. Okay. I'm inclined to think that if people are backing off on that, then they're probably having trouble servicing the payments they have already.
Here it is, guys. Here's the in billions of dollars personal loans secured with residential real estate. Here it is. See, back in 2012, it wasn't that big, but look at it now, man. It's huge. It's just exponentially from, you saw it take off just around the mid-2016, and man, it took right off. Because we didn't see a housing correction for so many years, what's happened is people have been just piling on the debt and adding on and adding on and adding on and adding on, and it's a broken record. It just keeps kicking the can down the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah. Well, when you talked to Steve earlier, he called me too. I don't know if he related it to you, but he has someone who's a mortgage broker, and he got about 160 emails since that rate cut talking about refinancing. Like he just snowed under. Hey, so people are definitely paying attention to the credit markets, and they're definitely paying attention to their debt. I'm sure it's gotten big. It's looming in everybody's face now. Mm-hmm. So there's trouble brewing in paradise. Canada, we think we're above all of this here, right? The Great White Short. It's coming home.
Canadian White Short. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's brutal, man. It really is. Yeah, I just can't see it ending well. What I'm scared of here is we're going to wind up with a QE like we had in the States. We're going to wind up with a bunch of banks that need propping up. And Ottawa allocating a big old wheelbarrow of cash just to keep them afloat. I don't think bail-in legislation, taking a haircut off your and my checking accounts, is going to help a situation like this. Mm-hmm. Because I'm reasonably sure there's probably all kinds of funky mortgage bonds and stuff that got written all this garbage too.
Yeah, and I read the article early that if you lie on your home application loan, you could go to jail. What about all the underwriters? What about the lenders that lie about people's income so their TDS could fit to get them the deal? Well, that's a bunch of garbage. Why can't it be? Why don't you see bankers going to jail and because they're putting customers' potential futures at risk economically and mentally?
Well, they're participating in fraud, right? Like it absolutely should carry jail sentence with it. We're talking about people's lives here, years of saving and investing. And okay, a lot of people got into housing for speculation or because of this cult we have in Canada that's a guaranteed path to wealth, which is really, really sad to think about. But oh well, that's such is life.
Right.
I don't think there's going to be anything put in place for them. The only thing we have at this point is relaxing of the stress test and I would not be surprised if they permit remortgaging where you refinance all your debt over 40 years. I mean, we'll be seeing generational mortgages just to try to maintain this Ponzi a little longer.
Well, a week and a half ago, China urged the banks to restructure bad debt and do not let no one default. That's dangerous. When you start doing that and keeping them on a life support, there's no difference from the whole repo market thing we're doing.
No, it's functionally the same thing, right? Like you're just taking people's existing debts, and instead of them, a mortgage over 25 years, then you stretch it out to 50.
Years.
Mortgage it over 200 years. Yeah. I mean, I think Argentina and Austria have both issued 100-year bonds.
They have. I did a video on
which
that.
is insane.
Hold on, I just
like
want to send a shout
Argentina
out to
changes their government.
Ralphie Coe and from New Zealand in the house. Caught us live. Thank you for coming in. All right, go ahead. So
if these aren't signs of desperation, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's screaming from the loudspeakers on every street corner. Hello, we're in trouble here, and people are doop doop doop. Oh, 100-year bond. Well, that sounds good. There's just so much of this goofy money float sloshing around out there, looking for a home, some kind of return. It's just it's pathetic. It's just a joke now.
Well, they're ruining people's lives. They're ruining so many people's lives.
Yeah, but what they're doing is they're enabling people to ruin their own lives, and this is always the tack they take. Predatory lending. Yeah, you're a greeter at Walmart. Yeah, we'll do an Alt-A with deferred payment or something to get you into a $500,000 McMansion. Sure, because everyone has a right to
We won't add that to your total debt service ratio. We'll pretend we left it out, and let me adjust your income here so your TDS could fit.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're gonna make it work for you.
Yeah, we'll make it work. Don't worry. But those people don't do time in jail. It's the people that lie on their applications go to jail.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, no predatory lending, but in the end, people came in and took the bait because the lenders were advertising about this is the best time to buy a home. If you don't buy now, you're gonna miss out. All this garbage.
That's
right?
a bunch of garbage, dude. For someone to tell that to somebody.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. But like I've said before, I mean, these people produce loans like sawmills produce lumber. Like they got to get those numbers. They got to move that. They got to move that tape.
Start taking losses. They're going to start doing layoffs. They start doing layoffs. Then all these banks are laying off. A lot of banks have been laying off recently. I think it was Bank of Montreal, deep cuts, deep. Let's look it up because we do discuss layoffs here on Trends in the Housing Market, and we discuss credit analyzation. We discuss everything here on economic, whatever. So let's look up, I think it was Bank of Montreal.
Yeah.
I know Deutsche Bank has been, here it is. No, that's from December 4th. Let's see if there's something more recent here in the news. I know that they're having Canopy Growth, big marijuana, to close 2 greenhouses and lay off 500 people.
Yeah.
CIBC plans to lay off more people. Bank of Montreal announces major layoffs. And then we're going back into 2019. Let's go back to 2020 here. December 4th. That's not too long ago, though. December was just a few months back. But let's look up bank layoffs. Who's laying off right now from the banks? HSBC? Of course.
HSBC. Oh, yeah. No, they're up to their neck in it.
235,000 cuts?
Yeah. No, they're up to their neck in it. I think they were deeply involved in that money laundering, too.
In London, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they basically said, if London stops laundering money, the world economy would fail, right?
Yeah. So there you go. Absolutely go buy a house right now, folks. Yeah. Yeah, go leverage yourself up to the hilt because things are, we're laundering money now. God knows that's a bottomless supply. What could possibly go wrong?
So we got here in Memphis, First Horizon, 1,000 layoffs. Layoffs too with Wells Fargo. And we got Cisco. I mentioned this earlier. Cisco in Ireland, tech company, 1,000 layoffs or 10,000 or 3,000 layoffs. JP Morgan, huge layoffs, huge haircuts. This is from February 5th. That's from last month.
Yeah.
We got U.S. Bank to lay off 65 Cincinnati employees. Let's see what we got there. T-Mobile, layoffs. Failing morale in HSBC, head for more job cuts. Barclays, Unicredit,
Barclays.
6,000 Italy job cuts in banking sector.
I think Barclays is the largest bank, or possibly the largest corporation on the planet.
It is
One of the most powerful financial houses, anyway. And this is the thing, too. You have elites at the very top that will certainly protect themselves as much as possible. But you're going to have an angry public demanding heads for this. Some are going to be Arkansided, as it were. But there's a lot of people that took that golden ticket that are going to be, they took the devil's wages, and they're going to pay. Mm-hmm. Bernie Madoff did time in jail, and you would think a guy like that would have been untouchable, but no. When they start looking for bodies to throw to the mob, there'll be no shortage of them, and
right?
Yeah, and the cops and the politicians, everyone will be looking to deflect attention anyway. Yeah, a lot of people are going to go to prison, or they're going to be jumping out of windows, or helped to jump out of windows, I suppose, more accurately.
Yeah. So they're laying off workers in Windsor.
Yeah.
This is February 28, 2020. The Windsor, Ontario plant has shed its third shift on June 29th, laying off 1,500 workers.
Which company is that, Mike?
Dodge Grand Caravan.
Oh, yeah.
The line's been shut down on February.
Fiat Chrysler. Now, is that because of... Yes, I agree, Lord. Precious metals, the dumb rocks are going to rule because they're not crooked, and they actually exist in meat space. Yeah, I think that had something to do with part suppliers on the other side of the Pacific in our favorite country that are shut down right now. So the same problem that Kia and Hyundai have had.
Ooh, teachers losing jobs, 240 in Alberta. So it's not just the private sector; it's public sector jobs too.
Public sector is going to be a massacre. It comes down. I mean, they can strike, they can shut down the streets, they can do whatever they want. But the bottom line is, governments are broke, and you could demand more all you want. When there is no more, there is no more. So yeah, a lot of people are going to be that thought that they were secure for life are going to discover that there is no such thing in this world.
AT&T puts more jobs on the chopping block. AT&T, tens of billions in job cuts, more layoffs on the way. This was posted 11 hours ago. And
AT&T.
another Barclays, this is the newest one from 15 hours ago. They are closing 340 locations.
Jeez.
Then SAIT, what's SAIT? SAIT announces 230 positions will be lost because of budget. What is SAIT?
Is that Southern Alberta Institute of Technology?
Yes, it is. That's correct. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you're going to see cuts everywhere. There's no secure jobs. That doesn't exist. There is no such thing. When the money runs out and the government can't borrow or tax or extort enough from actual productive people. I mean, and it's not that teachers and everybody else don't do something important. Let's not go there, okay? But we're the ones who have to generate the actual wealth from nothing to pay for all of this. And basically all of our taxes and fees are just going to pay the interest on the money they've been borrowing to keep this illusion going for so long, The bubble over our heads is beginning to collapse. Mm-hmm. It's like Fremont Street in Vegas, there's this big show overhead. Well, when that roof falls down, there you go. The show's over, isn't it?
So we got 5G job cuts. Telenor has cut 22% of its jobs. This is from March 3rd, 2020. And Fiat Chrysler job cuts. 1,500 at Windsor plant. This is from last month. TELUS threatens 5,000 job cuts, forced to sell access to other companies.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised at all. That's a problem. I mean, TELUS out here in Western Canada has been a virtual monopoly, right? So, and monopolies are not popular. Well, because service goes downhill and rates go up, and and they render themselves vulnerable to break up anyway. Mm-hmm.
Well, we got our friend Covey that's on its way to Canada because we're handing out flyers at our airports to warn people. But this Covey is not going to help Cineplex. Cineplex theaters may see massive job cuts. Cineworld boss says. The concerts, sporting events. Yeah.
I mean, can you imagine a Stanley Cup game where there's nobody in the stands, just the players playing, and they all got masks on, and everyone watching at home? I mean, someone will try to pull it off if it comes to that, right? Because they're going to get their money's worth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the stands will be empty. I mean, and they're going to have to be. I am so hoping that the effects of this thing are overblown. Even a 3 or 3.5% case fatality rate is multiple times worse than usual flu. And the thing that they keep skipping over in that comparison is this literally just got rolling.
Exactly.
And it just is going to get hockey stick here. Like it's not good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then that's the thing. Even if it's not serious, it has already disrupted things so badly that the economic fallout. I mean, if people start losing jobs, even 3 to 6 month layoff, break in the income stream to service all this debt, and everyone's credit is stretched singing tight, and they've only got $400 in the bank, and they've already sold the dog and the other car, then either there's going to have to be a massive jubilee to cover this, or they will simply order a mass deferral of payments. So you don't have to pay and nobody collects from you, but that has to go all the way up the chain, right?
Okay. We got South African companies plan 10,000 job cuts. This was posted on March 3rd, 2020. South African companies have announced plans to cut more than 10,000 jobs less than 3 months into 2020 after a faltering economic growth.
Yeah.
And we got, let me see, undercuts underemployment. Okay, that's something else. Cannabis company, I already discussed that. Cannabis is supposed to be booming, but they're cutting 500 jobs and closing 2 production facilities. I'm just going here. HSBC is everywhere. Everywhere. Yeah. And they're still rallying protests in Calgary against the UCP budget cuts.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. We knew it was coming. Right? Evan has been pounding on the subject for at least a month now. Watch unemployment. Mm-hmm. Everything else is kind of hanging in midair, but we'll definitely on the other side of the roller coaster when employment starts to go up. So we'll
Evan
see.
McChronicle,
no new reports
you guys need
yet.
to check out the McChronicle, please.
Yeah, shout out to Evan at the McChronicle. His videos are short, full of information. He keeps it short, sweet, guys. Make sure you got him subscribed.
He's already got 8 subscribers now. Come on. Yeah, he's got like I think 10 subscribers already from since he came on. So guys, I'm going to give you a link to the McChronicle. Please support him. I'm going to put a link in here for you guys here. All right, let's go back to where we so let's go So major HSBC layoffs, we got that already. Workers group foresees 7,000 job cuts because of COVID. What's workers group?
Workers group, I would imagine that's like a union or a representative organization.
And CBN?
Yes, the CBN. Yeah, I don't know what those are.
Okay, that means I gotta.
Never heard of them.
Let me open the article. I'm just reading the outbreak. Manila, the country's largest workers group, said Saturday it is anticipating layoffs up to 7,000 employees in hospitality industry. Okay, hospitality industry in the Philippines. Airbus Defense Division starts talks with job cuts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, it's bad in Europe. It was getting bad anyway. I mean, Germany apparently has been going straight at. Yes, Evan, I know it was more like 4 or 5 months. I consider myself scolded. Okay. The defense. Well, spending of all kind is going to be cut, right? I mean, the only place that can really run these kind of deficits more or less effortlessly is America, up to a point. Right, because they can monetize. They can monetize their debt, and they can buy their own paper to keep the price up. Obviously, once you've cranked up the throttle that far, then everything gets stretched singing tight, and it's just a matter of time before people lose faith in it. But there's just about nowhere else for anybody to put their money. So I think you've probably noticed yourself, Mike, that the dollar index is still 98, 99.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
But gold, guys,
but gold and silver took a big shot too, and so they're not moving opposite; they're moving in tandem.
Exactly.
So it sounds like Brent Johnson at Santiago Capital. It sounds like that's going to pan out. Good, thanks, Evan. Likewise. Yeah, for a while anyway, everyone's going to be looking for a place to park their money, and it's going to go into the U.S. dollar because they need it to pay their bills anyway.
Australian market is going to close in 18 minutes right now. The All Ords are up 67.8. ASX is up. The Australian to U.S. dollar is just above 66 cents. Oil still below the $50 mark at 47. Gold is down $2.60, sitting at 16.40. Bitcoin is taking a little bit of action today, just around 9,800 US. And what else? The New Zealand NZX50 is up 223 points. The FTSE is up right now. The Nasdaq's up. The DAX is up. The Hang Seng is up 307 points above 26,529. The Nikkei 225 is at 21,254 and 35 cents. And you can see this mass injection of money is actually driving markets upwards. And I don't think that's going to last much longer. Go back to what the McChronicle said. Once you lose your job, then what happens, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the stream of payments to all of the lenders stops. And they have bills they have to pay too.
The bills,
right? Bills, and a lot of them have. I mean, they've got quarterly numbers that they've got to show. So if you have a sudden air pocket under your quarterly earnings, rather than the usual up a little, down a little, and they're all going to show the same results. Obviously, if a couple of 100,000 people suddenly can't make their payments for a while, and they've made absolutely no provision or saved any money to make sure that they could do it in the meantime, which is also a problem we knew was going on in the background. We've been talking about that forever.
We've been talking about this stuff. We've been talking about this for years now, dude. We're going into years.
Yeah. Well, they were talking about this before the last big crash too. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the reality is everything they were talking about then still applies now because the problem wasn't fixed. They just flooded the market with money to get things going again, and then nothing was fixed.
Okay.
Steve the plumber's in the house.
Good. AAP Newswire Services closes after 85 years with 500 jobs. So, news services closing down, 500 jobs. What else we got here? Airbus looking at job cuts. Lloyd's, Virgin Money. Oh yeah. Lloyd's and Virgin Money. Direct line to cut 2,000 jobs.
Jace.
Yeah. Chevron. Staff cuts.
Production of commodities and all the crap you buy. Every consumer market is absolutely saturated. Just completely saturated. The flood of money out the door is to try to keep those numbers up. And I'm sure that there's a lot of people in these corporate offices that are a little bit shocked at how much of their futures people will mortgage to keep buying crap.
Bunch of garbage.
It's a bunch of garbage. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that somewhere, someone has an algorithm for, for quarterly earnings for every unfertilized egg and every new set of tires that doesn't get bought, or the ashtray's full, so you trade the car in. You know what I mean? Like it's just we got to keep people on the treadmill and keeping these numbers up, and then they take all those profits. And then they borrow that cheap money to prop up their share price because, of course, they're all living in their own shark tank, looking for a vulnerability to start snapping up each other's shares. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right? So they've done these things, and I'm sure that there is some Sun Tzu logic to doing that, where you get backed into a corner and you don't have a choice but to do those things. Mm-hmm. Although I'm sure there are people that consider themselves, brilliant for doing it too.
Okay. Well, Supreme,
just because you're educated.
Get Steve on the show.
Yes, go grab Steve by all means.
I need you if you can, Mike in the Night, if you can, come on. We're going to be, I guess we'll get a few 3-4-way discussions going with what's happening with COVID and how it's affecting our supply chain, how it's affecting our travel, how it's affecting our distribution, how it's affecting our economy, how it's affecting our day-to-day lives.
Yes, that we'll have callers in from all over the world, and we'll get some real-time information, and hopefully nobody on here has got the sniffles when they call in. We need to know what's going on and wherever. So thank you, everyone. God bless. Make some preparations. Get on it if you haven't yet. Okay, and we'll talk soon.
Bye, Supreme.
Bye.
That is our man, Supreme Candidate, in the house. In the house. Steve, can we still call you, or are you still sleeping? Well, before we call Steve, should I do a channel plug? Did I do a channel plug? Real quick. Guys, join the channel. Support the channel. Guys, follow me on Facebook. I'll give you my Facebook if you want to message me show tips here on Facebook. Buy a mug or a pillow or something cool for your house. That's a pillow, guys. That's nice. Send me a tip on PayPal, and go ahead and follow me on Instagram. There's my Instagram there if you guys want to follow me right there. All right, let's see if we can get Steve on the phone here. I'm not sure. Well, he won't answer if he can't talk, right? There it goes. Steve needs 5 minutes. I'm sorry. I just saw him I just saw him there in the comments saying, "Mike, I need 5 minutes before I could talk." I'm really sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Steve. I didn't know. I didn't see that in the comments there. I just saw it right now. So let's go over to the comments here. What's going on? Mike, CV won't kill you, but the fact that it will shut the economy down will. That's for sure. See, the Raven understands, you know? And I think it depends, like how much pollution you have in your city that impacts. I think it has a lot to do with your how fit you are and stuff. That's great, but I think there's also like scenarios or instances that you can't control, like pollution, environment, like stuff like that you can't control. That makes it a lot worse, right? Self-quarantine is dangerous, guys. It's fine to self-quarantine, but if you're self-quarantining in a condo, I don't know what's going to happen with the filtration systems and the plumbing and stuff. So let's go to this article here. CV students accommodation at Sydney University turned into an isolation center. The building will be used to house international students returning to Australia who require to undergo 14-day periods of self-isolation. But 14 days is not long enough, guys. It's nowhere near long enough to incubate yourself. That's the problem. You need about 22 days to really know that you're 100% clear, right? And that's the problem. They can't lose this money. This is a lot of money coming into the country. A lot of countries, Commonwealth, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, the UK, they're banking on a lot of student money, right? A lot of the locals can't afford to get student loans anymore because a lot of them are tapped out. A lot of people that are graduating now have the mortgage but don't have the house, right? With these crazy student loans people have gotten themselves in. I'm lucky I can't even read, and I just finished high school and did my own thing. I'm very, very lucky I can't read, because if I was qualified for college, university or something, yeah. Steve, sorry I called you. I didn't see you in the comments there.
Yeah, no worries, buddy. No worries.
I
Can you
didn't
hear
know.
me okay?
I scrolled up and I saw, oh, give me 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Yeah, no, it's totally cool. It's totally cool. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing fantastic, man. All right, so what do you got to tell us, buddy? Give us a story.
Well, today was a very interesting day. Something that will probably go down in history books with respect to what central banks are doing with policy. Not just Canada, but the Fed leading the way by example. Make no mistake, the Federal Reserve, with respect to being a central bank, is ultimately the central bank. They are, basically the ones that lead the way. That said, we're down 50 basis points. Everybody has this misconception, especially members of organized real estate, that house prices are going to continue to rise, and it's a good time to buy. Money's cheap, and everything is rainbows and unicorns, and things are okay. Well, in actual fact, anybody who believes that needs their head checked. I don't think there's a central bank in this world that basically cuts rates, for the purposes of the economy, operating as normal, as usual, or having a good economy for that fact. It's usually to the contrary, 99.9% of the time.
So, do you think we'll start to see people jumping in the real estate market now that they eased up on the stress testing, and they eased up on the interest rates?
Sorry, Mike, what did you say there?
Do you see people jumping into the housing market now that interest rates have gone down?
I definitely will. I definitely think that there will be an influx. There will be a tick up. I'm sure it will be short term, simply due to the fact that there are so many other moving parts. And when I say moving parts, people, might say, "Oh, well, now I can buy that house because, mortgage rates are going to be that much cheaper." And that's all fine and dandy, but at the same point in time, they really need to give their head a shake and say, "Well, why is it cheaper?" And we've discussed it time and time again. Evan has brought it up, and it was brought up tonight on the show briefly. Unemployment. No ticky, no laundry. If job losses start to amount, or cutbacks at their place, at Mr. or Mrs. Smith's place of business, and they start getting the feeling that they're just a number. Well, guess what? They're not going to go buy that bigger house. In actual fact, they may even sell their house because they're going to look at their finances and say, you know what? We're already over leveraged. We have a fairly large mortgage. It's time to control the risk if we're smart and we're prudent. And you know what? Let's sell this piece of real estate. We don't need this big of a house.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people are starting to. Well, the thing is, we looked into this. We spoke about this actually several times on the show about the Canadian brain drain. It's actually a lot bigger than I estimated. We're losing a lot. So the people that are buying a lot of these expensive homes are coming and buying these homes, but we're losing a lot of our professionals. And this is becoming a bigger problem. And it's taken effect in our family and our personal lives, that this economy, this Ponzi economy that we've been basically floating with our tax dollars and bail-ins and all this other crap for the last 13 to 14 years that should have been corrected multiple times by now by all the damn mistakes made by all these banking institutions and all this other crap. It's just getting to a point right now, Steve, where it's like people are looking at the exit right now for Canada. There's quite a few people. They're sick and tired of this. America's no saint, but you could still get by working a decent job and still live the American dream. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of states, right? But here in Canada, we don't have a lot of major cities. Now with them lowering rates even further, it's caused a no confidence in the world markets. They don't know what they're doing. The McChronicle said that earlier on the show, and it's just sending this mass ripple effect. Like, everybody wants out of the Commonwealth, Steve. I'm talking to people. They want out of Australia. I'm talking to people. They want out of New Zealand. And these are New Zealanders. These are Australians. These are UKers, like British people. They don't want to be in Canada. So what is this is a big problem, Steve, and it's been stemming now for the last 10 to 13 years. They should have left these economies on autopilot and stop getting the federal government involved. Now they want the federal government to start paying for people's strata because they can't afford to pay their home insurance.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Your turn, Steve.
Well, I mean, yes, there is a mass exit happening. I know of a lot of people that are basically packing up, leaving the Greater Toronto area, and no longer going to the Windsor markets, going to the outskirts and stuff like that. They're literally packing up and they are going to, places like Florida, Texas, and saying, this is what I get for my money, and I'm stupid not to do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you're a professional, you've worked hard, and you've saved some shekels, and you're just tired of this. You know, what's been a growing pattern in Canada is the lack of transparency. And same thing in Australia. The banks are getting away. I read an article earlier where if you lie on your home alone, you could go to jail and do time. But all the bankers are lying about your income so they could get your loan approved. They're lying about all kinds of stuff to get your loan approved so they could get that deal on and get that on the books.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to lend money. They need that coming through, because if a bank isn't lending money, a bank ultimately isn't making any money.
Right.
So that's a big concern. I will share something with you today, and there was I was talking with Supreme a little earlier, and my mortgage broker confirmed that he received, between telephone calls and emails, approximately over 160 clients asking if they can refinance their home.
But you got to pay for mortgage docs, appraisal. You got to pay for all kinds of crap to refinance.
Absolutely, but people want to do it. They're living, a lot of them. I said, so what are these people saying? Well, they're living too tight to the margin. They need some breathing room, so on and so forth. They want to refinance. And these are all these people that are, keeping up with the Joneses. They're lifestylers. They're, they have leased BMWs, and, everything's all a facade. Mm-hmm. It's all smoke and mirrors. And, he tries to protect the situation because it is his living. But I know deep down inside, he has to be honest with himself. And he knows that this is all a crapshoot. Going to come down hard and fast. And eventually people are just not going to have the ability to go ahead and refinance anymore. And then they're going to have to pay the piper. There's not too many bullets left in the chamber, Mike, mm-hmm. with respect to the Bank of Canada in terms of policy decisions. They really
they're out of ammo because they've already did so many rate cuts. How the heck are they going to start? Rate cuts is like the most emergency thing that a bank could do, or change the overnight lending rate. Bring it down, bring the rates down so that super emergencies. But we just keep cutting away at it. We have no more aggregation. We got no more movement. We're out of ammo. What now? Then go into negative territory and ban cash and then punish savers?
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. They're going to basically say, well, all right, hang on a second. You have money saved? Oh, okay, well, no, you need to spend that money because, we need to have control over the situation. Governments want control over the situation, end of story. They have been wanting to do that for, a very long time. It's going to be, it's just another confiscation of gold. That's all it is.
Mm. Is what it is, exactly, yeah.
Remember when they took everybody's gold away?
They've done it before, confiscations, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Let me ask you a very important question.
Sure.
Did you buy toilet paper yet? Yes? No?
But, it's funny.
Steve, you're breaking up, buddy. Are you there?
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I spoke to my friend, we're just going to call him Gary, mm-hmm. and he was at his local Costco, and he was trying to pick up some necessities, and literally all he could see is people walking out with toilet paper and cases of water. That's all he saw. People, toilet paper and cases of water.
What about
That's
dog
it.
food? I'm joking. So that's pretty scary. That it's good that people are preparing, but it's scary for the toilet paper industry because if we run out of toilet paper, we're screwed. But like I said, Steve, you're a plumber, and I have that hose that you hook up to your line. That hose you hook up to the line there for your for the toilet. I just use
Yes.
that hose to clean myself. I don't use a lot of paper.
Oh, so you undo it every single time?
Well, it's a little hose with a little spray in it, you know?
Oh, it
They have that
piggybacks
in
on.
Portugal. Like you kind of like go underneath and wash yourself with the blast of water,
Yeah, that's called a bidet, Mike.
whatever it's called. So I have that. I have that hose, and that's good for enough for me, right? And I find it a lot cleaner to do that.
You know what, Mike? Absolutely. Whatever floats your boat, buddy. However you clean up is the way you clean up. I will never judge you.
Woo! All right. Anything else?
You know what? At this point, it's too early to tell. I don't know exactly what's coming or going with respect to the market, but overall, the general consensus that I've gotten is these interest rate cuts will do absolutely nothing to stimulate the economy. And to the contrary, if they go ahead and all of a sudden it basically gives people the false sense of security to go out and take on copious amounts of additional mortgage debt, or buy this the next biggest home when they're still a marginal buyer and they should be focusing on paying off that mortgage and paying off debt. um, you know that's going to take a run at the economy, and it's going to bring it down like a ton of bricks. So I think interest rate policy had to, they made a mistake as far as I'm concerned. It's way too soon to do this. And you know what? The next, 3 to 6 months is going to be a telltale sign. If the real estate market goes on fire, there's a reason for it. And it's not going to be a good reason.
No, of course not. And then we got our friend Covey showing up. Luckily, a lot of our the airports in Canada are handing out flyers to people, which is really good. So we could sleep well knowing that Canada's safe.
Yeah, I guess to a certain degree.
If you don't mind, Mike in the Night this Saturday, if you want to come on, I know it's late for you. I know it's really late for you. But if you ever want to come on a Saturday, because we're going to be we're going to have a couple of calls going at the same time we're going to be discussing what the heck is happening with COVID. You know what I'm saying? Because it's getting close and it's starting to go nuts all around outside of China. I couldn't care less about China and what they do because they lie to everybody. So I couldn't care less about their numbers. But I kind of seeing what's happening in other countries, and it ain't looking good. So this Saturday, we need to dedicate it to COVID.
Yeah, which is totally fine. If I'm in a position to jump on a call, I absolutely will.
Okay. We talk about the... can you do some research for us the next 2 days, Steve? Find out how the plumbing systems in condo works, like the inner deep stuff. Like would people, because this is affecting people living, if this might affect people a lot in condos. So see what you could find out, like in the insides when it comes to the inside of how condos work when it comes to waste management and all that other crap.
Mike, if I don't already know that, then I got more problems than I know what to deal with. But if you have any questions, I'll be happy to help out.
Perfect. All right, a licensed plumber on the show. All right, Stevie, you can get some sleep. I know it's midnight there, and I know you got to go to work tomorrow. We'll talk very soon.
Good to be with you, Mike. Take care. Bye for now.
That is our man, Stevie. All right, guys, we are coming towards the end of the show, guys. I've been talking for 2 hours straight. We got Goldie Silver in the house. It looks like a new commenter. We got... Who else we got? Anna Key is back. Who else we got here? Mike Banks is always here. We haven't seen Layla's here. Johnny D's in the house. Wow. Okay, hold on. I'm looking at the views that we're getting on our other, because we're multicasting here. Holy crap! In the Russian, it says Federation of Russia. It's all in like from these other channels. There's like 12 views on one channel, 13 views, 27 views on another channel, and then Twitch, all this other stuff. I'm going to this one here. I can't even read this. There's like 904 people watching. It looks like it's coming from it's Russian characters. Wow. The Sergey messages me on that one there, from that other platform. So there's people watching this from all over the place, I guess, and it's really good. You know, usually it's people from the Commonwealth that are kind of experiencing the same patterns happening in their neck of the woods. So all over English-speaking countries, the massive English-speaking country takeover. And that's it, guys. We covered quite a bit now. The markets closed in Australia, all in positive positions. I hope they're in positive. I really hope the Australian markets closed after cutting rates and pumping in a bunch of liquidity in their markets. I hope they closed in the positive territory, because we'd be in a lot of trouble if they didn't. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the McChronicle. What else we got going here? Job cuts we covered. This is secured mortgages going up here. And then we got Prince Edward Island housing shortage. We covered job losses. We covered huge layoffs all over Europe and in the oil sector. And also this one here, property speeding spending less time for sale, selling faster. And yeah, so guys, if you can, don't forget to join us. Go here. If you can, go down here. And set a reminder here for Mike in the Night. Go here for Mike in the Night. I need you guys back for Mike in the Night Saturday. And we're going to have... So if you missed Mike in the Night shows, here it is. Mike in the Night The New Generation going all the way back. We got about 66 episodes here. It goes all the way back. Watch all the Mike in the Night you need to see to catch up on what we got going on here on the channel. And trends in the housing market. We got, I think, like 300 plus episodes. And there it is. Prepping in Canada is considered anxiety. Another Canadian rate cut. Lots of stuff going on here. Australians panic, toilet paper, ration. All kinds of stuff going on. So check out the channel. Join the channel here if you like. Don't forget to message me on show tips. Send your show tips right here, please, guys. I want all show tips to go here. If you guys have a show tip or something... we got that. And then if you want to buy something from the Teespring store, go ahead and pick up something, guys, if you want to support the transmission. If you're going to buy a towel, just buy one from the store. Support the Mike in the Night. And you could always send me a tip on PayPal. Here it is here. PayPal. There's my PayPal. And if you want to send me, if you want to follow me on Instagram, go ahead and do that. You can see my ugly mug every day. There it goes, guys. That's it, guys. I'm talking for 2 hours straight, and I got to go to the bathroom real bad. Guys, thanks for watching, and thanks for the support, and we'll be seeing you. I'll be doing a few video drops through the week, like normal, and you'll be seeing me on a Mike in the Night this Saturday. Hopefully, the Raven said he's coming on. He's got something prepared. We'll get Supreme Cannon on. We probably get Liam on, Real German Instincts on. We'll probably get Steve on if he can. We'll probably get Lord Humongous on. We'll probably get the McChronicle if he could come back on. Gunter26 on. Satellite of Australia on. And I would like for David Zoo to call in, because he messaged me a lot. It would be nice to hear from him. Timmy Evans said he's going to come in for cryptos and discussing why there's a huge lull. And who else? We could try to get Elijah back on, because there was a case in the middle of nowhere that he knows of that is not being reported to the CDC or whatever it is. So, yeah. So Raven said he's going to break it all down. So he's going to tell us how it's going to go down, and that's real good. All right. Yeah, I'm going to be starting my garden soon too, guys. The weather's been really nice. I'm going to be fertilizing the lawn in a week or two when the daylight savings kicks in. And I'm going to be rotor-tilling a couple of times this year. I think I'm going to plant a garden this year, seeing that I'm not going to the Philippines. So, okay, guys. Big hug. Lots of love. Thanks for your support. Thanks for everything. And we'll be seeing each other soon, okay?